Hey, how you guys doing? This is Zone 18 podcast. We back for more wrestling news. Again, it's your boy CJ. You know what I mean? I got my homeboy Mod right here. Say what's up, man.
How y'all doing today? How y'all doing?
All right, then we got Rainy Days right here. You know, Rainy Days from the Level Podcast. Go ahead, Rain. Tell them about yourself.
Hey guys, you go rainy days. Look, it's my right logo for once. Come on, only 35 episodes later. Okay, logo.
85 is crazy, bro.
But hey guys, you go rainy days here from Level Podcast. You know, I am a mom, a content creator. On the level, we do geek and pop culture, you know, all that in between. Follow me on TikTok at Rain E Days underscore for what the fuck WWE and a whole lot of fun. You know, I'm funny a little bit sometimes or not, you know. So go ahead and follow your girl.
All right. So let's get back into this thing right here. If I can get myself right, call me can't get right today because that's what I'm all about. You know what I mean? Can't get
You and
right.
TKO apparently.
Right. So then again, shout out to our sponsor, Ice Mountain. Ice Mountain, 100% spring water. It's the best for hydration. If you basically smoke blunts and you get dehydrated, you need to drink some Ice Mountain and you'll be good to go. You know what I mean? Then again, Meet Your Connect. Meet Your Connect. If you tired of paying those high cable prices, as long as you got internet, Meet Your Connect to basically meet you where you are. 150 one-time fee. You basically get all the movies, all the sports. Currently, we watching the NBA playoffs right now, which is on multiple different platforms. If you got Meet Your Connect, you can basically watch it on any platform there is on Meet Your Connect. Again, Meet Your Connect on Instagram or DM me at the Zone 18 podcast, and I'll definitely put you in touch with the Meet Your Connect. All right, so this has been a tough week here in WWE, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? So
God damn.
we had 24, technically 24. let me change that now. 26 wrestlers that were pretty much released, right? So pretty much, you know, you had the whole
SmackDown is gone.
Yeah.
All of
They can't-
SmackDown is gone. They got rid of
They can't keep a
SmackDown.
job. Jesus Christ. They sitting here like, yeah, get rid of them, I guess. Whew.
Right. So you pretty much had the Wyatt Six, the whole faction gone. You had
Yeah, I mean, that
Aleister
makes
Black gone, Selena Vega. I'm sorry, not Selena Black.
Selena Black. I mean, that's what her name basically is.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, yeah, she is Selena Black. Out
You
here.
had
Selena.
Kyrie Singh. Kyrie Singh to me was the most
Yeah,
unexpected. You
them
know,
getting rid of Kyrie was fucking insane. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
like she's in the main storyline right now, whereas we about to have Asuka versus Io at Backlash, and she was one of the main reason. Like she was getting smacked up every week for no reason.
know.
Man, you know what I mean?
She was fussing at herself last week. It didn't even look right. Normally she'd be fussing at Kyrie, and now she was just fussing at the wall.
Right, you know, like it's crazy, man.
Shit
You
look
know what I
weird.
mean? Then you got Alba Fire. Then you had Zoe Starks. I thought Zoe Starks had a real promise. You know,
I thought Zoe was gone a while ago. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot they brought her back for a second just to get rid of her again. That was crazy.
No, the issue with her was, remember, Kyrie actually broke her leg. Remember when she jumped across the ring and Kyrie wasn't in the right place, and Zoe broke that leg. You know, Apollo Crews, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, what has he done for us lately, right? Now, Santo Escobar is the one that's funny to me is because you did not let them renew your contract, left, came back 10 days later, and then now they got rid of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that,
I thought he was the guy that left, that came back, I mean,
yeah, like that's kind of petty. Then you got that Motor City Machine Guns, and I feel
he was
like
doing nothing.
they wasn't doing anything. But the fact of the matter was,
They wasn't getting booked.
right. And
That was
then
the problem.
And then y'all put the tag team belts on them 2 nights into them being in the company. You know what I mean? So it's like that's kind of petty, man. You know what I mean? And then, you know, of course, the biggest loss of it all is the New Day. You know what I mean? Whereas in what were they, the 14-time tag team champs? You know what I mean? Gone. Because you want them to take a pay cut, which is kind of crazy. And I mean, I see it from 2 standpoints. If I'm the New Day, why would I take a pay cut if you agreed to this money? But on the other hand, I see it from TKO's point, because if they're not using you, they don't want to spend the money. But the thing about that is, it's not their fault they're not being used. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying, but also I really just feel like more or less this is all TKO's fault. considering the fact that you are a multi-dollar company and you're asking these wrestlers who go out there and put their bodies on the line day in and day out to take pay cuts, and it's not just them; it's your big names too. You're asking your Dominic Mysterios, your LA Knights, your Roman Reigns, like all these big guys who are still in the light. You're asking them to take a 50% pay cut. So what? You can line your own pockets and not pay the other wrestlers because it's not going to anybody else. It definitely isn't going towards anything good because the last thing we've been getting has been trash, if I'm being completely honest. And you're sitting here like, yeah, we want you to take a 50% pay cut. For what? If I'm them, I don't want to take a 50% pay cut either. Like at this point, it's bullshit.
Yeah, because if you think about it, so reports are LA Knight took a 50% pay cut to stay with the company. Penta took a 50% cut. I'm trying to figure out how did Penta come into all of this? Whereas he's, hotter than sliced bread. You know what I mean?
Penta's a liability. That's why he came in. He's a liability. That's why he came into the conversation because Penta, up until recently, Penta, he is prone to having injuries in his matches. So I can understand him or the person he's had the match with. Somebody getting messed up in that match and Penta's there. So I can get why he probably agreed to the pay cut. He was like, oh, no hospital bill? Oh, okay. You take money. It's cool. That's what happened.
And LA Knight, like, you're not doing anything with him substantially. And you want him to take a pay cut, and he's over. Like, I think even more is Dirty Dom has been carrying them for the longest. He's your AAA champion. He was your Intercontinental champion at the same time. He was out here being the 2026 Eddie Guerrero, and then you make him take a 50% pay cut. You know what I mean?
He got injured half the year, so I mean.
Okay, what's Carmelo's part? Carmelo was out here doing open challenges, having great matches on SmackDown, and then all of a sudden Carmelo had to take a 50%.
But before that, what was he doing?
I mean, it's Rain. My issue is
I'm just asking you the question. I'm just asking.
He was in the
back. He was with the Miz. Like he was in the back.
Okay. So my thing is this: then. So why are we not hearing that the Miz take a pay cut? Because clearly, what is he about? What is R-Truth doing? You know what I mean?
First of all, hold on.
Here we go.
Let's back it up. A couple of notches. I'm not saying these people deserve a pay cut. I'm saying that let's really talk about and that's why I say I understand both sides. We as fandom have been complaining about the lack of WWE, right? The roster not being used, or the same cycle roster, or the bullshit roster that we're seeing. And now that we're seeing the bullshit being weeded out, we're wondering like, oh, why is so and so leaving? I mean, if you want to be, even though I think the Miz probably should have took a pay cut, if you really think about the Miz career, he is always relevant. Even now with the Dan Housen thing, the Miz never stops working. He never stops working ever. Even on the lowest of the lowest, he never stops working. R-Truth, we all brought R-Truth back, so don't sit there and act like R-Truth wasn't. But R-Truth took a pay cut. Remember, his contract did not get renewed. And he's probably making shit right now, but luckily he's doing these little side quest promos. He's the tag team champion. But again, R-Truth was always working. You always knew R-Truth was there in the background doing something. The question is now, is people want to get paid but don't want to work. And yes, it is on WWE and TKO to create storylines for these people, but they're not popping. Should they get a cookie? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to really understand. Not everybody has the same reason, but some of them.
And I understand the injuries and everything behind that and all that stuff. Yes, you don't want your stars to be sitting here getting paid while they're sitting out taking injuries and everything like that. You don't want them to do this, do that. But also, too, at the same time, it's not like that money is just going to waste or anything like that. They're still out there promoting their t-shirts. They're still out there getting fans to doing promos and pop-ups with fans and everything like that. They're still doing these things. They're still doing house matches and everything too. They have to get paid for it. We might not see it on TV, but they still have to get paid for this stuff that they're throwing their bodies on the line for every night and everything too. So like, yes, for some of those, okay, they can take a pay cut. They'll be fine and everything like that. But then also too, now we're out here, we're dropping rosters, we're dropping people. Cool, that's fine. We can do that. Some of them need to go anyways. They weren't doing anything. But when you cut people like Kyrie, who people were loving, by the way, she was getting her ass whooped every time by Asuka, but people were loving to see her out there, and she wasn't like she was a terrible performer either. She went and put out decent matches every time she went out. I'm just more or less on the fact of, okay, if we're gonna do these pay cuts, are we gonna get something that's gonna make it worthwhile for these pay cuts, or if it's gonna be the same thing that they've been producing every week, where it's not been the greatest of storylines, it's not been the greatest of matches or anything like that? Are we gonna get something better to come out of this, or is it gonna be the same old, same old? Because if it's gonna be the same old, then why cut? Why do the 50% pay cuts at this point?
Yeah, I just feel like they want to keep their money, man, and it's like, and I get
they
it.
lost money. Did you see WrestleMania?
Yeah, we've seen WrestleMania. We talked about WrestleMania.
We talked about it. They probably lost a lot more money because normally WrestleMania is their rollover. That's kind of like the way they kind of roll over the rest of the year. Got SummerSlam. But you got to think about WrestleMania is the Super Bowl for WWE. So if WrestleMania ain't popping, they not getting that money to support the end of the year to the next year. Some people had to go. I mean, if you think about it, I'm not saying it was fair, but people like Trick Williams, people like Javon Evans, people like Ricky Santo, like people like that coming over from NXT and other places, gotta coming over because some of these people on the screen ain't cutting it. Like, so it's like we want people to pop. We want the action. We want things like that. But who do we have to replace because of it? And then, I mean, obviously it's a revolving door. It's just like regular work. Now, I'm going to say this. The Kyrie Zane of it all. I love Kyrie Zane. Don't get me wrong. But, can I be the person that asks, why are we really all upset? I mean, not to say it like that.
The reason I'm upset about it,
she speaks her tongue with Asuka. She don't speak languages, and most of her matches with Asuka. I'm just trying to understand.
Asuka doesn't speak language that well either. Asuka doesn't speak language that either. The reason I'm so upset about the whole Kyrie Zane thing is because I can see Kyrie Zane being great. She could definitely be great in the company, but she should have been great a while ago. To be completely honest with you, she should have been with fucking EOS being at this point. But at this point, they were just saying like, "Hey, we don't really know what we're gonna deal with you."
That's basically what happened. EO pop more. And that's the sucky part about it. I mean, she needs to be her own person in order to be independent. But if you tag her with somebody who literally, Asuka is known as one of the greatest women's wrestlers, top 10 ladies women wrestlers all time. She's done things that other women haven't done in her industry. And not saying you don't need a lapdog, but if you're going to keep her as a lapdog, I mean.
But that's also the biggest thing, too, is, yes, you hooked her up with Asuka. Cool. Now when people are seeing her with Asuka, they're starting to give her a recognition that she deserved a long time ago with everything, and that could have easily pushed her over into her own singles, and she could have been great there. Honestly, she could have been the one holding the Intercontinental Championship, and I don't think I would have been mad about it because at least she would have got have more time to be on the screen and show us more than what we were seeing from her than being in a tag team.
Yeah, that's what I said. When was that going to happen? Because I mean, how many times y'all look out there y'all saw a Kyrie Zane a sign before until she got dropped?
I mean, at this point, I'm tired of seeing Becky Lynch hold the title because we seen her fight AJ Lee like 6 times. Like I was over that.
Becky Lynch bringing money, just like saying the same thing with Roman Reigns, and like the same thing with CM Punk, with Cody Rhodes. When you have these people that bring in the money, not saying that we should have the same matches over and over again, but we can't compare Becky to Kyrie. Like let's be 100% honest right now. Like. I'm not saying, again, I like her as a wrestler. I'm supporting her. I definitely want to come back. But if you really look at the last year, most of her matches have been with Asuka, and Asuka has really been the person that people kind of focus on. So if you're going to bring her back, then let us see what she can do. But making her this tag along didn't do anything for her at all. And that's the unfortunate part about it.
I just put it this way. I wish I had a slide, and I wish I had thought about this more in depth into this moment, though. But I think for her, it was more people that deserve to be gone off the roster than her. great example, right? Last night we watched Raw.
Mhm.
You have Otis and you have Tozawa, right?
Mhm.
Why are they still on the roster? Why are they still there? Now, granted, what's her name?
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine has made herself relevant, right?
Mhm.
Whereas we're sold on Maxine. But Otis and them, what are they there for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I see them, what are they there for? My thing is, you let go the New Day, but you kept Grayson Waller. Like, it's like, my thing is, I'm not saying the cuts shouldn't have happened, but I feel like some of the people who got cut and people who left should have been the ones that stayed. Like, Zoe Starks had a good career going on, but got hurt, And then my thing is, again, you have Ivy Niles, right? Why is she still there then? You know what I mean? Why do you still have what's the Creed brothers, right? And then let's get to the Creed brothers. Now they are Mexicans. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because it's about from their standpoint, it's what you guys know that's working. Like, it's cheaper to keep certain people. Like,
It is cheaper to keep certain people. Yeah.
Let's talk about the New Day. The
Mhm.
New Day is a cultural phenomenon.
Mhm.
Anime, music, sneaker deals.
Mhm.
Imagine their contract to do nothing. Imagine you imagine being a supervisor and you pay somebody twice as much to do something that somebody who just came in can do. And you watching them like, why are they still here? Oh, because they've been with the company for 10 years and people like them. But what do they do? Oh, I mean, they open the store on time, sometimes. They can count right sometimes. But what do they do? But so and so done been on time every day, then make sure the drawer is right, then make sure the inventory is right. But so and so can't get promoted because John's still there for 10 years doing nothing. Like,
but is that John's fault though?
If you create an atmosphere where you can do nothing and make it okay, it's not entirely John's fault. But if you want to be put in, it wasn't until recently where we seen Javon Evans where we actually saw pressure on the New Day, right?
Mhm.
They had opportunity. The Usos had an open challenge. Where were they? In the back wearing sombreros and playing with Grayson Waller? Like, I'm just trying to understand what was going on.
But
like, we didn't really see the whole picture because like I said, I understand being a fan, but some people, yes, should have been replaced. Some people could have gone off the roster over some people. But when you
100%.
see things like, it's different between people putting the effort in and people just kind of just chilling and hoping that an opportunity come to them. This is still a competitive industry, right? Or no?
Yeah. I'm just again, like I said, I'm thinking about Otis and Tozawa. Like, what value do they bring? Like,
I
really?
mean, realistically, it's not that many men in the tag division, so you can only get rid of so many tag team men before you have no tag division. Let's be honest. But the last couple of matches they've had, the match he had against Oba was actually pretty good for it to be so short. And then the match
It was a squash match.
What was that match they had when the one it was like the tag team? It was like a triple threat tag team. Yeah. And they was going on. Like, if given the opportunity, they show that they produce in the ring. The issue is that now that's the issue with WWE and TKO. They're not given the opportunity. But every time you put the New Day in the ring and they get their ass whooped, what is happening? Like, what is really happening? Like, we can't write bad so bad. Like, come on.
Listen, I think for me, I'm always just gonna have an issue with TKO when it just comes to a lot of things because before they came and bought the company, like I said, it was still going on that top dollar. Like, you knew WWE was gonna give you something, and I just feel like when they took over, it's been more or less like, okay, we can do this, but we can't do this. We can do this and this, but we can't do certain things, and it's like, I just want that wrestling back where it's like we get something, yes, new every week, but it also we have fun with it. We have good storylines, but it also brings more people in. Like it's also bringing people going, okay, people who don't watch wrestling, people who could be like, I don't care about it that much. When they see these superstars come up, they go, okay, I see these guys doing all this stuff. I see them doing that. Like for me, it's just always going to be TKO, just like throwing more input in. And I feel like they need to throw in instead of just being back and go, okay, WWE, this is your thing. We're going to let you run it. Now, if we see some issues with it, yes, we're going to give you some feedback, but I don't think they should just be putting their hand in the candy jar as much as they're doing.
Yeah, I did.
So let me ask y'all a question. Let me just ask y'all a quick question. So Kairi Sane or Trick Williams?
Trick Williams.
Okay, Trick Williams or the New Day?
You asked me to pick between a tag team versus just a singles competitor. It's always going to be the singles competitor because
that's how y'all categorize. I'm asking y'all a question based on how y'all added it.
If you say the old New Day before they turned heel, New Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the current
New Day right now, currently.
No, Trick Williams.
Okay, so that's what I'm kind of getting to the point. When you have new talent coming in that's showing that they're doing their job, and it's like this person or that person, y'all just offset like, oh yeah, Trick Williams. Like, and it sucks to say it, right? I'm not saying it's okay, but really think about
let's get into the point of what are they doing with Lash Legend though? What are they doing with Lash? She was in a tag team, and then now I'm not really seeing too much of her besides being on the sideline.
Well, I mean, she just won her championship like 2 weeks ago.
But this is my thing though, Ebony. Though, like, okay, this way. All right, great example. Jay-Z is a great rapper, right? That's what everybody says, right? If Jay-Z writes your hits, it's automatically. I mean, if Jay-Z writes your song, it's a hit, right? They're not writing anything that's a hit for these people to perform and be what they are. So, granted, the New Day weren't what they were and they were great for because what the story that they were given. You get what I'm saying?
Like, no, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that's not the case. That's why y'all are not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with y'all. Well, I want y'all to look at the mechanics because there's a bias happening around because we're wrestling fans. If we want to understand both sides of the coin, we got to be able to bite the bullet because y'all acting like y'all want Vince back. And when we had Vince, it was all exactly. Let's talk about the other side of the coin before TKO, right? So it's like we want the storylines that happened in the past, but we don't want the master to come with it. We want the new master, but don't want the storylines they have. Some of their storylines work, some of their storylines don't. That's always how it's been with this industry, right? But the fact is, when we're looking at choosing new talents, we were just saying a couple months ago, we wish we had better people on the roster so we can give more opportunities or have better matches, right? Now that we're getting better people on the roster's too full. And if you're not stepping up to the plate, you got to get cut. Not saying these people can't come back, because likely the New Day is probably going to come back after all this backlash, right? Likely Kairi Sane is going to come back after all this backlash, right? But when they come back, what are they going to do? What are we going to do to make it for them to feel like they're a part of the company? But also, even if we give them a better storyline, will it make them better? Just because you give somebody a great storyline doesn't mean they're going to be great at their job, right?
I mean, should put them on SmackDown. They need the help.
Exactly.
I mean, or bring back Vince. That's all I'm saying. Bring back
Like we give Cody Rhodes get the best storylines, but does all his storylines work for Cody Rhodes? No. But they're not about to get rid of Cody Rhodes because of why.
Well, you know they're not going to get rid of that nigga.
Exactly. They're not going to get rid of him. So I'm just saying, like, it's just a hard place to be in because some of these things suck, but also some of these things make sense if you think about over the last couple of months what's been kind of like Danhausen. I know a lot of people probably would get rid of Danhausen, right? They don't really care for his stick. But if you think about the way the WWE industry has been for decades, Danhausen makes sense to the industry. Like, he makes complete sense. He's comedic relief. He can wrestle. And not only, he also gauges all age ranges from 5 to 65. Everybody loves fucking Danhausen. It's crazy.
Unless you name CJ, then you don't. But
yeah, right? So, again, it's like you got people like Sting, R-Truth, like The Miz, those type of things that kind of pop up to kind of edge on the storyline. And then we got some things that work, some things they don't. It's just we're in a sucky part right now, right? But I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm not saying that. You remind you of Hurricane Helm. Do you remind you of Hurricane? He did remind you of Hurricane Helm. It's the hurricane.
So very ironic. In another group chat of mine today, somebody said that Danhausen's partner should be Hurricane Helms. You know what I mean? And Hurricane Helms is actually a producer in the back writing these stories. You know what I mean? So,
that makes sense.
But first of all, if we see Hurricane Helms pop out of here with the Danhausen, that's gonna be some shit. First of all, I don't know how that's gonna react because it can go two ways. It could be really good and people are gonna love it, or people are gonna go, "Who the fuck thought this was a good idea?"
I mean, it's gonna be.
It's only going one or two ways with it. It's either gonna be.
It's gonna be Punk, man. It's gonna be Punk. It's not gonna be John Cena. It's gonna be CM Punk.
Listen, I hope it's not John Cena. Like I'm really hoping it's not.
I just don't understand why it would be a CM Punk. That's all.
Well, in real life, they're actually friends, and CM Punk actually got him into AEW.
Danhausen?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's the reason we want to put Phil in the match. I'm always down for a good match with Phil.
But listen, I would say I'm cool with it just not being John Cena. Man's retired from wrestling. He's supposed to be retired. Yes, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do his cameos and pop-ups and everything like that. Like how they had him at WrestleMania as a host. Cool, that's fine. We've seen The Rock do that too. Fine, cool. But do not put John Cena back in a wrestling match because if so, then what the fuck was the whole point of his whole retirement?
Well, if I see John Cena show up in the match, I'm gonna write a very strong worded letter. You guys are gonna see it everywhere.
Oh no, I'm going to the front door.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
Listen, you got to meet me at the front door then, because I'm coming out with signs and everything like that saying, "Kid John out of here."
Well, you see how they slid Gunther to SmackDown on a low. You know what I mean? To basically fight Cody. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, but I guess because Braun break her back. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That nigga need a pay cut. I mean, yo, I swear to God, and I don't care what nobody feels about it. If I see him on another Raw, box up another promo or move, I'm turning the TV off. You cannot be this big to keep hurting yourself. I don't understand. Week after week, my man is in pain.
My man hit that spear, and then next thing you know, you just saw him looking at it like this, and I was like,
I'm like, yeah, that's done. I was at that point, I'm like, turn the TV off. He's done.
My man, Seth was like, Seth was on the ground like, yo, you okay?
Like, I'm supposed to be the one died here, not you.
That nigga got up and that's because he be looking both ways. I don't know what be happening. He need a fucking.
Man, I think, like I said, yo, he going too fast, man.
You need a direction card.
He needs to get back into the. He needs to get back into the fucking
NFL.
Where they got him. Not the NFL. They need to get him back into the performance center and work on his speed and everything like that. Because bro he's going too wild for himself, and he's just gonna end up hurting himself, and it's gonna just be all types of bad. Again, for like the sixth time.
He could have hurt
He's gonna be out for another year.
I mean, Roman gotta stop looking like this, man. Like, you know what I mean? like
Yo, I'm gonna say this. This is the best acting that Roman Reigns has done in his entire career, dog. Because Jacob out there choking that dude.
And what's so funny about it, and everyone on the pod knows, if they don't know, which is crazy, everyone knows I love Roman. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Roman. He is the tribal chief, but it's also making me respect it more too, because he is making sure Jacob Fatu looks as he's supposed to be, like this big scary motherfucker that comes through and just wants to wreck stuff and does not give a flying fuck who's in his way and what's in his way. It doesn't matter if it's his own blood. It doesn't matter who it is. He is coming through and beating ass. So like, Roman's acting here, I love it 100%. Yeah, I don't want to see my tribal chief out here getting choked out and shit like that. I don't want him to get that tongue down grip anymore.
He was like,
But also, funny part about that thing too is when they were in Texas, apparently the AC stopped working in that motherfucker, so everybody just be sweating and dying.
I'll see you in Backlash.
Yeah, like Roman,
Jacob was
man.
like, I'll see your punk ass next week.
Like honestly, that's what got me thinking that he's gonna lose. Like, you know what I mean? Because they want him to take a pay cut. They already removed him from all events in June, which pisses me off because now I'm like, why? I was about to go in June, and then all of a sudden now he's not going to be there. Like,
no, he talking about you guys.
And you know that's not his choice either. You know, like he's pissed about it too. Like he sat here and made a declaration of, "I will see y'all through the whole summer and possibly more." And now they want to cut him out of June and everything like that. So I'm just like, guys.
No, you won't.
Yeah, TKO sitting there like, you promised people you gonna see him in June? No, fam, we cutting that right there. And it's like, that's the part that's killing me. It's because like we said it before and it's been said multiple times. At this point, why did we put the belt on him if you're gonna just cut him out of everything? Because he makes the championships move. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that no other superstar can do what he does and make that championship worthwhile. But when you put it on him, because everybody knows Roman Reigns, they know what kind of superstar he is. If he holds that for at least 4 or 5 months, like the same amount of time as CM Punk was holding the title, it's going to move and it's going to make that title bigger than the Universal Championship at this point. But I don't know why they at this point cut it off CM Punk if you're just going to not let Roman do what he needs to do with the belt.
Because they try to move CM Punk to SmackDown. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. But hold on now. Let's retract some things. I'm gonna say all that pay cut they doing. They could have had enough money to pay Roman. That's all I'm saying.
Literally,
they did all this investing in him being the hope and the recovery of the company, bringing the company back from the dead. All that money they was moving around, they should have just left Roman's contract alone. Like, I would say that. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's okay. I recently became a Roman Reigns fan, but I don't think that's cool, right? But
no, it's not. And like that's the part of it. I was like, I'm sitting there like with TKO. I'm like, guys, you're telling this man, hey, we need you to bring this company back from the dead. We need you to do all this stuff. But now we want to not only give you a pay cut, we're going to take you out of shows that people are going to want to come pay and see. For what reason? For what?
Exactly. Now let's talk about the title round thing. I don't know about that part though. Like, he had his title reign 3 times as long as Seth Rollins. They moved it around the same number of days. That's all I'm saying. But it's okay. Like,
no, I get that 100%.
I'm just he don't like to move the title. He like to slowly take it from certain places. He like to hold it out and then move it. Like Roman don't like sharing. He don't like moving his title around. Let's be real.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
he does not.
Great champion, but I don't want to see another 4 years of him doing the same thing.
No, I'm not saying push for 4 years.
They instantly went back to the Usos being a part of him. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And nothing against the bloodline, but why? What was the point? They did that to the Godfather Trump promo for what? Like, what's the point?
All right, so I seen this theory on someone's page, right? And it made so much sense. All right, so the theory of this this TikToker, which I should be referencing right now because he had a great theory. You have you put them back together as the bloodline. When you do that, what happens is this. Jacob wins the belt from Roman. Then you put the Usos along with him, and then you bring in Zilla Fatu. And pretty much everybody has the same last name is in the group. So you got Zilla Fatu, you got Jacob Fatu, and then Jimmy and Jay's last name is Fatu. And then you also have Rikishi as their tribal chief or their wise man. And it's a cool theory that somebody's floating around, which I believe could be true.
My biggest thing is,
like I said, you really want to see the bloodline come back together?
No,
not at all. Not at all.
it was beautiful because of what it was at the time and how they did it at the time in those 4 years. That's what makes it special. When you bring it back again, it's gonna feel like it's just a cheap run for like, hey, we need more people to come back and watch, so we're gonna make this cheap run and make the bloodline come back. I don't agree with that.
It's NWO all over again.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that anymore. And that's why I say too, when it comes to like Roman with the title, I'm not saying have him hold that title for 4 years. Like, no, we don't need another 4-year reign. At least for like 6 months and everything. And then yes, you can make it worthwhile, make it pop up, and then hey, have somebody take that belt and then run with it for a little bit longer than what he needs to run with it. But at the same time, too, I'm like, it seems like they just want to do a title swap as much as they possibly can to try to get people in the limelight, and it's like it doesn't feels like it doesn't mean as much when you're just having superstars come in, beat a guy, take a belt, hold it for a month or two, and then have them lose it in another pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Roman's gonna have the title, I just want to make sure he does something with it. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
We don't have. If he's gonna do something in 6 months, it needs to be a title reign. Like, we don't need him just
100%.
stomping around his big old meaty claws. So I'm just want to make sure that that's what happened. Now I'm gonna say this: I believe Jacob Fatu fully deserves a title.
Yes, 100%.
Especially after his last. I really hate the. I'm gonna say this. I hate the promo about him being in jail. I hate that. I really hate it. I wish they just stop mentioning it. We get it. He came out. We get it. But
he came out the grug. He
came out. He came out. Like, we get it. But I hate it. Like, I don't feel like that should be the only thing about him. But just seeing him go against Roman, the thing with Drew McIntyre, the thing with Cody Rhodes. If they give the title to Jacob, I would not be mad because he has proven out of the whole bloodline so far. And I love Jey Uso. I'm a big Yeet fan. 4 letters, 1 word, Yeet. But he has proven he's probably one of the most deserving to have a title reign next to Roman. Like, the dude is on fire.
He is.
Like, he has gotten people chanting his name over Roman. He's gotten people almost booing Roman because they're so torn between who they want to stand with. And he literally, how they're playing his storyline, him basically being the one man against his whole family, I think is probably the smartest storyline they've had in the last couple of months. So to see how this play out, whether he wins or not, I appreciate them giving him this story. So that's, you can give people like Jacob a great story, right? So it's like, who should we be cutting writers at this point? Because there's great stories out there, but as going to the argument earlier, not everybody's, I guess, deserving of them in a sense. So, it's just interesting to see for that they should have kept CM Punk with the title, but it's cool. We're gonna get what we get. I'm gonna give my man Phil let him. He might in the back like, this motherfucker.
And then that's the crazy part, because it's like that's where I get back to. It's like it's TKO being like, hey, yeah, we just gave you this title. Now we're going to want to take it away from you again and everything like that. Like let it rain out a little bit longer. Let the rain go for as long as 6 months, and then take the title off of them. Let them just be a contender. Let them just be out there doing matches and everything like that. But don't just go, hey, we're gonna give you the belt just so that way we can rip it off of you for like in another pay-per-view and everything like that. Because now it feels lazy, and it feels like everything CM Punk did leading up to that title is for nothing now.
Yeah. So, all right. So prediction then. So Saturday coming up. Backlash. Who do you got? You got Roman and Jacob. Who do you got? Me personally, I'm going with Jacob. I feel as though they're taking that belt off Roman. That's going to, it is what it is. I think he was a transitional champion. They had to put the belt on somebody who made sense, because if Jacob had beat CM Punk for the belt,
that would have been horrible. He would have beat him to death.
Yeah, honestly,
he would have really got hurt. He would have really looked hurt.
How Roman did him, it would be like 10 times worse.
He was like Cody after that match. My man Cody's still injured. He's moving around slow and that he can't really see. He out there like Braun Breaker. He's still going through it. Like, I don't understand. Poor Cody, he needs to take a seat. He needs to rest.
Honestly, at this point, they need to give somebody else the belt that's besides Cody, because this man is brutal. He is beat down. He is worn out. That's the face of a man that is defeated right there.
Yeah, like he
He's supposed to
he was talking to CM Punk. He looked defeated. He was out on SmackDown last week. He looked all sad and upset. I know he was his little cousin ass, but he was still upset. Like it just
Like-
devastated Cody.
He would Neil said he whipped his little cousin's ass. You know what I mean? Ricky Saint, that's his nephew. You know what I mean?
Oh, his
That's his
nephew,
nephew,
his
yeah.
Nephew, you know
he had to
what I
fight
mean?
his nephew. He's sitting there like, come on, cuz. For real. I gotta fight my nephew now. Come on
All
now.
right. All right. So who you got, Rain? Who's you going with, Jacob or Roman?
I'm gonna say this. I strongly believe that Roman Reigns is going to get his contract together. I don't think Roman's gonna let him bitch them out like that. You know. So if Roman gets his contract together, then Roman's going to keep his champion. If Roman does not, it's definitely going to Jacob. Definitely. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's the only way. Because I really can't. And before that, I would have said Jacob just out of nostalgia, but I know Roman's going to win. Especially the mechanics of Solo probably getting involved, and the Usos. Some shit's gonna go down.
It's
Considering
gonna
all
be
the stuff in the background, it all depends on how WWE and TKO move with Roman. That's what it depends on.
Okay, and Bob, go ahead. Who you got, man?
Enough said. I gotta put my ones up. Enough said on that one. I'm gonna go Roman. But like as Rain said too, if they as long as they get his contract going together, it's gonna be Roman. If that contract doesn't get together, he basically tells them like, get bent. If you can't fix my contract, then you're wasting my time. It's definitely gonna go to Jacob. So for me, I'm gonna say Roman, but it's really just gonna be how that contract situation goes.
Okay. All right. The last thing I'm gonna hit y'all with. I ain't gonna hit y'all with the Nancy today. I'm not gonna hit you off with the Nancy. You know what I mean?
Oh God!
Even though we
Before-
still a founder.
Before you hit us
found
off
her?
with the Nancy, no, they still have not. Before you hit us
What
off
the
with something
fuck?
crazy like
She
that,
did.
like a Nancy, I do want to say shout out to the Detroit Pistons for making it
That's
past the
what I
first
was
round in the
going at.
playoffs.
Turn my hand around.
Not you had a
Detroit. You feel me? I keep telling everybody. I told
And then-
them the whole season that Detroit was going to do their thing. Detroit's in the second round of the playoffs right now.
And they just won yesterday too,
They
actually.
just won. You know what I mean?
so you're
Everybody.
saying I gotta hit up Danhausen after this? Got it. All right.
You know what
If
I
you
mean?
hit first of all, Reigns, if you hit Danhausen on Detroit, I will personally come to Baltimore. I'm gonna be at your front door begging on that bitch. Do not play with me, girl. Do not play. That is my team right there. Do not play with me. I will be at your front door going, Reigns, I'm gonna go right now. We gotta talk. I will be out there with a picket fist and everything. Do not do that. Do not. You better get Danhausen on the Cavaliers or something. And matter of fact, get Danhausen on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm ready for them to bop out. You can get him on them. They can dump out, but do not touch my Pistons because I will fight.
Yeah, man. Like the Pistons, man. I told everybody kept doubting me this whole season. You know what I mean? And then I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody made me move out the city of Detroit. You know what I mean? At the greatest time that Detroit's going on, and I'm taking my talents back. If they go to the finals, I am quitting my job and I'm going back to Detroit because I need to be there for the atmosphere. That city is electric.
Hey, this has been a Zone 18 podcast. No trip.
You know what I mean? I know the city's on fire. Everything is electric, like The Rock was saying. You know what I mean? You can walk in there, you can feel the goosebumps. You feel me as you walk in to Little Caesars Arena, man. You know what I mean?
Bro Trip and say he gonna quit his job. Ain't no way, boy. Quit the job.
Because I'm telling
Okay.
you, I got so much.
Stop
faith in
it.
my-
Get some help.
And the thing about it is, y'all can look at since day one of this podcast, I've rocked my Detroit hat. You know what I mean? I might have wore it backwards. You know what I mean? But I've rocked my Detroit hat every single time because I had faith in them boys. You know what I mean? The bad boys is back. We ain't worried about no Angel Reese. You know what I mean? We overcome everything. You know what I mean? Remember when they said we shall overcome by Martin King someday? That Detroit Pistons have overcame. You know what I
He was
mean?
thinking about Detroit Pistons when he said that.
Yes, think about the Pistons because if we remember last season, remember they was booed out the building. You know what I mean? Like they was basically they didn't win no games really last season. They come back to be the number one seed. You know what I mean? With my man Cade Cunningham And you know what I mean? And then also, I got an announcement too. Speaking of that, you know what I mean? The Zone 18 Collective, you know what I mean, everybody. That's what we're basically changing the name to, is the Zone 18 Collective. Because we're coming along with a whole gang of podcasts. So Zone 18 in sports will debut in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Zone 18.
All right, this has been the Zone 18 podcast. Oh my, this is Rainy Days. It's your boy CJ.
We didn't have a team meeting about this.
Did I miss that?
So, we just going to announce this right now?
Because this show is geared more to the wrestling community. We have to create one that's geared towards other sports. So I called it the Zone 18 and Zone 18 and sports.
Hold up, time out.
Zone 18 sports. Now Zone 18 in sports.
Time out. Flag on the play. Real quick. Flag on the play. When did we talk about this? When was this brought up in a feed meeting or anything like that? Because I missed that meeting, I guess.
No, it's all about the side quests. You feel me?
The side quest, Zone 18 Collective.
And then we also have another podcast that will come out called
another one.
Unfiltered World. You know what I mean? In Unfiltered World, we'll be talking about politics and everything that you don't talk about on here. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about they're gonna talk about Trump. They're gonna talk about these gas prices, this economy that's going on. You know what I mean? So and that podcast debuts in July. You know what I mean? So 2 new podcasts under the Zone 18 banner. You know
right. Okay, I mean? Zone 18 Collective. All right.
Correct. You know what I mean?
So who gonna be the co-host on this one?
Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? I got some interviews lined up for that. You heard me?
Some interviews. Okay.
They all produced. You know what I mean?
You know how niggas be lying when they say they got something lined up. You know niggas be lying when they say I got something lined up. Don't you worry about it. It was lined up. So, I ain't see the line. I ain't see the decimal. I ain't see nothing.
So viewers, if you're out there, you want to be a part of the Zone 18 sports. You know what I mean?
Line them up right now.
World. You know what I mean? Drop a comment, subscribe, DM me. You know what I mean? And we definitely get you going. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be some monumental things going on. Again, this is a Zone 18 podcast. This is a mod. That's Rainy Days. I'm your boy CJ.
Make sure you awake for these ones too. So if you go do all these podcasts, you gotta make sure you up and about for these bitches.
I would like you guys to like, subscribe, and follow us on TikTok or on YouTube. You know what I mean?
This nigga tripping.